You've never had a Sam Adams lager, Kyle? Well, you're not missing much. DarbyCast, Wildcard Friday. I tell you what I'm thinking about. I hope you're pumped for a big weekend. I don't know what's on your mind right now, but it could be a lot of stuff that's like kind of a bummer. So I'm pretty fired up that you've made the conscious choice to lift your spirits so that you, in turn, can lift the spirits of those with whom you come into contact. Do you see why that's important? Taking responsibility for you feeling good about you, and then other people are like, wow, I love being around this person. That's kind of the responsibility that goes with being a DarbyCast doctor is, I don't know how often I've stated this explicitly, but maybe today, because we've got so many new people, so many new DarbyCast doctors, I'll just lay it out there. It is your duty to get people fired up, to give them a knowing look, to give them a smile that is so warm it could melt an iceberg. It's your job to go up to somebody and be like, how do I get forearms like yours? Those are the best I've seen. Have you been doing that? Have you? Be honest with yourself. Because if you haven't, I'm not going to chastise you, but I'll bring some awareness to you and say, you listen to the DarbyCast, and as a byproduct of that, you're probably in a perpetual state of head in the clouds, feet strapped to a special kind of jetpack propulsion system, but it's with a foot harness rather than a backpack. That's how you feel, right? So you got to pass that on. Let me lay it out there, a serious way to pass on the DarbyCast. I'll tell you what I do. I go out into public, the world, and I airdrop the DarbyCast to people who are foolish enough to have their airdrop settings set to receive from anybody. It's really surprising how many people exist who will just allow you to send them a file. And I think there's a lot of idiot dudes who abuse this, who send weird looking penis pictures to chicks, hoping that that's going to do it for them. And I don't think it is, but you know, it does do it for chicks. It's when you send them a high quality podcast that makes them feel good. And they're like, aw, you thought of me? And you're like, babe, more than you know. Here's this podcast. I treasure what we have. Have you said that to your significant other recently? You should. But airdropping, okay? Here's the major challenge with airdropping is you got to have a really solid clickbait style title for what your phone's called, because that's how it's going to come up. It's just going to say, blank wants to send you a file, accept or decline. So that blank, you got to get pretty creative with it. You say, Tom Cruise wants to send you something. People are probably going to open that. You say, oh, Tom's in the area? Tom's in Bluetooth range? I'm for it. Maybe you put like a cool friend wants to send you a file. For a lot of these, people are probably just going to assume that you're trying to send a dick pic. But that's why you got to go shotgun approach. You just go into a fairly crowded space. And if you want, I guess you wear your mask. You know, you stay out of infection range. But thankfully, Bluetooth, you've got 30 feet. So just go to the drive-thru. Go to the movies. And just start absolutely peppering people with your favorite episodes, right? Let's talk about the why behind the what. We kind of already did. Think about the effect that the DarbyCast has had on you. I'm going to make the call that in no way, shape, or form could the impact that the DarbyCast has had upon your life could be anything but monumental. Do you understand? Of course you do. So why not share that gift? Who's going to get the high score of airdropping people in a tactical and playful way? Don't be a creep about it. Don't name your phone something uncouth, okay? We don't want that. You've got a major name in the DarbyCast doctors because you represent all of us, right? Not just me, not just Kyle, but your fellow listeners. There is a community developing, and it'll take on a life of its own. And eventually I may start giving you tasks because why not? There's been a couple ideas that I've been spitballing with. Secret society? Question mark? I don't know. That's to be determined. I don't like that though. Very sketchy. I would imagine there aren't a ton of secret societies that are like really on the level. And we're high caliber, high ethics people. You know it's true. You're a good person who tells the truth pretty much 100% of the time. Have I thought about making a scavenger hunt? An international DarbyCast scavenger hunt? You bet your ass I have. Go pick up this antiquated teapot in Istanbul and find the message inside. And it just says, time to find another teapot. And this one's in China. That's a tough hint to go by. I've been thinking lately, though, because you're such great people, I want to continue to build the community. Get you some merch so people quietly know what you're about. Maybe I start making sweatshirts with a huge QR code on the back so somebody can scan you from range. And when they scan that QR code, takes them straight to DarbyCast. What a mindfuck that would be. If you thought you were just going to have a regular day, but then you see somebody in this really sharp-looking sweatshirt, and it's got a QR code, and you turn to your friend, and you're like, should we? Yeah, wouldn't that just be sweet? So you're wearing your QR code sweatshirt, somebody scans you, you'd probably make a friend right there on the spot. But let's pull away from this for a second to talk high-level conceptual stuff. What am I getting at? Some people, they say, is the DarbyCast, is it political? Not necessarily. It's cultural commentary. Occasionally dip into the political, but that's not what this is about. You know it. I know it. Kyle obviously knows it. It's a cultural commentary. Why is that? You're asking yourself. It's because politics, downstream from culture. Culture, downstream from values. Okay? So what does that all mean? Means that you're a great person with great values. Otherwise, you'd probably tune this out. You'd be like, I'm going to Taco Bell. Like, ugh, get out. Not in my neighborhood. Person who is a joke. But yeah, DarbyCast. I hope for your sake that you've had the chance to share DarbyCast with some high quality people. And what a filtration device DarbyCast is. If you share it with somebody, let's say you're really into the DarbyCast, which chances are it's probably one of the major highlights of your life at this point. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But what a filtration device sharing the DarbyCast is. You share it with somebody and they don't get it. They don't think it's funny. They don't think it's insightful. They're just not about that life. What a great way to say, I'm going to reverse osmosis this relationship. We're going to have to filter you out. I wonder who of the DarbyCast doctors has recommended the DarbyCast with the most force. Just gone up to somebody, grabbed them by the scruff of their shirt and was like, listen to this podcast, you son of a bitch. You saved somebody's life. Maybe you consider that for a second and be like, whoa, I've been enjoying the DarbyCast a whole lot, but have I been selfish about this? That's a fair question. It's a life preserver. It's a safety vest to keep people afloat in these stormy seas, so to speak. Are you a cultural coast guard? Culturalcoastguard.com? Do you believe in that? Do you believe in throwing people a bone from time to time and being like, hey, I listen to an amazing podcast and I'm here to save your life. How about that? How about that? How about you name your phone that? Just, I'm here to save your life.com. Accept the fucking file. If you try to send it to somebody, if you try to airdrop it to somebody and they don't accept it, just shout at the top of your lungs and be like, I'm a cultural Coast Guard and I'm here to save your life. It's the right thing to do. It is. It is. Do your part. Do your part. The DarbyCast continues to push on. We are deep into season 2, and I have no idea why this show has seasons. I would say that it has been one ongoing season. This is episode 70. That's like a pretty good run for a season, right? How many episodes do most shows on like TV have in a season? Like 10, 20, or it's 70? It's not bad. That is not bad. But this is just the beginning. But you know what? That's going to wrap it up for Wildcard Friday. You've got things to do. You've got an agenda. And don't think that I'm not going to do my part in continuing to lay it down, but then also give you key merchandise like sweatshirts with QR codes, maybe international teapot treasure hunts, maybe something else entirely. That's what I bring to the table. But what this brings to the table for you, only you know the scope of that. How many ways has it brought positivity into your life? The DarbyCast. How amazing do you feel on a regular basis after listening to one of these? Those are questions I can't answer. I can make assumptions and say, you probably feel like your body's full of liquid sunshine. But I don't know. You tell me. You tell me. Enjoy the weekend. Back Monday. Major sports discussion. I don't know what it's going to be about, but it's going to be major. Oh boy, is it. That's DarbyCast, Wildcard Friday.